if I have, what did I say, what was the original one? 95 beats? Well, we'll just start over. So we got 95 beats, right? Okay, we're going to times it by 4, and that's going to give us what? Anyone good at the math? 380. Okay, so we're going to take that 380 and we're going to divide it by our beats per minute. Anyone want to give a beat PM?
75.
75, there we go.
Pretty slow.
So, we're going to divide that by 75, okay? And that's going to give us 5.06666, obviously down. Now, these don't really matter other than we're taking the value from this one right here, and we're adding it to the value of this one right here. So you round up, just round down. Absolutely, so it's going to be 5 minutes and 7 seconds versus being 5 minutes and 6 seconds and some odd fractions of a second. Pretty basic, pretty easy, not too bad. Let's see here. So, just to kind of quiz you on a little bit, how many points of entry are in a bar?
16.
Depending on what it is.
No.
Well, in this, the
You got
4
one
four.
in
No,
this.
no, and a measure.
Oh, yeah, 6.
So what's 4 times 16?
Big number.
64. There you go, 64. So there are 64 points of entry within the bar when you're doing 4/4 scale. Let's see here. Well, how long have I lasted so far? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? Where are we at? You guys just want to hear some dope tunes? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, believe it or not, math and music is kind of crazy. And actually, if you want to get into real points of entry within my keyboard, I mean, it gets really detailed. You can make to like, I think all the way up to 10,000ths of a second. You have points of entries. Okay, but in order to quantize it appropriately for the 4/4 measure, to make sure everything hits within the timing and sounds relatively clean and cut, it's going to be obviously done this way.
When you say point of entry, so you have,
Yeah.
in a 4/4 bar, each one of those things, those little
Marks.
is a point of entry.
Absolutely. Now, except for this last one right here, well, it's still a point of entry, but this last one right here, as soon as you get to this last bar, it's actually started over. This counts 1 because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, E, and A. So this last bar is going to come back and it's actually starting a brand new bar. I don't know if you guys understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. So the cool thing about this is that my ability to play with these little gadgets and figure out the math behind it has actually led me into some pretty interesting situations. Anything from a heated discussion with Yuck Mouth, if anyone knows who that is. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
Yeah, me and dude almost butted heads real hard.
Really?
Yeah, Drew Down didn't like me too much. But I've been able to be in a situation where I opened up shows for Rock Him, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Handfest, and RBL Posture. Yeah, yeah. But you know, it's pretty interesting any which way it goes.
That's very.
Yeah. So let's see here. There's a little something brand new that I was just starting to work on. Pretty simple, like you got some hard smashes hitting every other beat, you know, and then you got fast ticks. We're talking, you know, full 16 note all the way to go. And then if you listen to this, let me find it. There's your basic drum pattern, right? And every beat's going to start with a basic drum pattern. It's going to be the first thing you're going to mathematically calculate because it's going to give you your swing. Now, if you start getting into real fast stuff, let's go ahead and zone it out. You hear that? Now, this is a mixture between quarter notes, eighth notes, and a half note. So you kind of see how that gets put together. So you got like, if you really look at this thing, actually, I can't really pull up the screen, but if you look at it as a whole, I mean, it's just crazy. There's points of entries going in everywhere. You can't really relatively see what's hitting and at what time. You don't know that this is a snare. You don't understand that, you know, this is an instrument being played, you know, piano riff over here. And so what you do is you just take a look at it, right? And you can kind of dissected a little bit, but they separated on 16 different tracks on this board. Other tracks, some go up to 32 channels. You really have a lot of room to work. But with these 16 channels, I'm able to actually go ahead and solo it out, which will actually map out just that specific section. I get a printout, that way if I run into an orchestra or a school band who wants to utilize something, or someone who wants to purchase your track, is really what it's all about. Then you have full sheet music available to them for each individual musician and part. I have a couple of websites that I actually put on the back of my pamphlet. I know that we were just technically supposed to give it to Phil, but if you look at the websites I got here on the back, the bottom one is www.8notes.com. And the thing I like about www.8notes.com is that it actually breaks down several different categories like instruments, sheet music, and it's all free. So you can get on there and say you play the saxophone and you want to know how to play tequila. Well, I'll tell you what, you can go there and download it, just type it in their search engine. Not just that, but it also has a form for a more complicated piece. Say you wanted something from like Metallica, for a guitar riff, and they don't have it on their site as something that they advertise for free. You can network through their forum, talking with other people to really get the information you need. And more times than not, I've actually been able to find sheet music that I didn't know anything about really. Someone just turned me on to it, and I was super happy that they did. A few times I've kind of been duped, and I got some crappy stuff, but it doesn't happen too often. The other cool thing is with monsterguitar.com is it has an awesome display of counting measures, your rhythms and the whole nine. And it goes through a detailed count of notes, half notes, full notes. So if you're interested in taking a look at that, really highly suggested. But yeah, anyone got questions right now about math? Good one.
Now, you've gone over there 5.07.
Yeah,
So is that 5?
5 minutes and 7 seconds.
Well, .07 isn't really, 0.07 of 60 minutes
What?
is not that number of seconds, right?
No, you're right about that.
So how many seconds would .07 minutes be?
What's 0.07%? All right, or did you use it in percent, right?
Well, it's, for instance, let's say it's 5.1. What is 0.1 of a minute?
1 second.
No,
1/60th.
the 60th of a second.
1/10. 0.1 would be 1/10, right? So it would be how many
Oh,
seconds?
point one, yeah. Point one would be 1/10.
So how many seconds are there in 1/10 of a minute? 6, right. So .07 looks like it would be 4.2.
4.2 seconds.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you
So
also-
you just still round it up.
You just, no,
You see why that is?
not, well, I understand what he said. He said you round up. Okay, you always round
But
up, never round
this
down.
is giving you this 0.07 actually is a percentage. You got your 5, which is guaranteed, but this 0.07, like you said, is really 4.2.
It's tenths of a minute.
Now,
or
just take this 2
hundredths.
and you bring it up, obviously you're gonna make that a 5, so it's gonna be 550.
Okay, so that's a percent then.
So really it'd be like 505, right?
If you're rounding up, yes, it would.
Absolutely.